We'd like to present the option of transitioning from writing checks to the incarcerated population being released to the community and transitioning to a debit card. The reason being is we've had some fraud issues with our banking account 2 times in the most recent. The bank is suggesting we go into a program where we have to, like a check protection, where it's going to cost the facility money. We found an alternative solution to that, which would be going with our ViaPath vendor that has their option to provide a debit card to the person being released instead of a check. It's the belief between the bank and discussions with other institutions that not providing the individual the check with the routing number and the banking information will reduce the fraud attempts for the account. By giving the individual that's being released into the community the debit card, then that kind of brings them and us to modern day times. Rebecca deals with a lot of people being released, and sometimes banks require an ID to cash a check that we would give them upon release. Sometimes that ID is not readily available. Sometimes they do not recognize a county correctional facility as a DE as proper identification. Again, the card would cost the county no money, the facility no money. It would be a more efficient, effective way for Rebecca to do accounting. The individuals then would have the debit card. The relationship between the debit card would then be between the individual being released and NUMI Financial. So for the first 30 days, there would be no fees if the individual is using, like they can take the money, take it to a bank or store. There would be no fees for them. After 30 days, there would be fees. And again, that would not be between the county or the facility and the individual. That would be between the individual and the community and NUMI Financial.
Question? I'm a little unclear that the release, is that a permanent release or just when they're out on?
Yes. So in the packet, it does describe in the future, if we get to that point and evaluate that they could use it for work release, like maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, we're not at the work release section. We would maybe look into that for maybe a phase 2 or phase 3. The initial phase, the quick phase, is to fix the fraud that's going on right now with the current accounting. So it would be for a permanent release for an individual going into the community. We would still be doing the written checks if somebody's going from like one correctional institution to another correctional institution, or going from the correctional institution to a rehab or something of that nature, unless of course the correctional facility or the rehab would allow the debit card. Our goal is to reduce the amount of checks that we're writing to try and prevent the fraud that is occurring.
I appreciate that, because I was thinking if they have a debit card, I don't know if they keep it on their body while they're in jail, if they could be shaken down like, kids getting shaken down for lunch money.
Yes. No, the facility doesn't allow them to have cards. That goes into their property. The work release section is allowed to have $7 a week on their person, but right now with the numbers, we don't have that going on. We don't have a lot of work release people and a lot of people in jail that can carry a lot of money. So.
Okay. Well, with that clarification, I'll make a motion to.
I think Sally has a question.
I just have one question.
Sorry, I didn't.
No, let's get the motion
Okay,
first.
go ahead.
I'll make a motion to adopt a debit card for work release and offender, but not.
The debit card would just be
I'm
for
just
for released individuals.
Okay, so I can cross off work release.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yes.
later phase.
Yes.
Okay, because that's listed on the
Yes.
sheet here.
Yeah, NUMI does the entire package. We're just looking to do phase 1, which would be allowing a released individual to be given a debit card instead of a written check.
Okay.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second and 2 questions. Ladies
Yeah,
first.
I had a question. When you do the checks when they're going to another facility or being released or to a rehab, does that get made out to the facility or to the?
No, it's still to the inmate's name.
But it gets to the facility then, he takes it to the facility.
Correct. Correctional facilities have a process where they take the check, and then because it's on the individual's name, then they deposit into that individual's account.
Okay.
Yes.
Jamie?
Well, on a follow-up on that one, so if someone's going to another facility or outside, they're being released from us, but maybe being transferred, then are we still doing the check then? Because it's to another facility?
Yeah,
So
I'm not
They wouldn't really be able to
sure-
use a debit card at another facility.
I'm not sure about doing it for the, like rehab facilities, because I'd have to look more into that first
Okay.
before I would do that, whether
That's
we'd go
less
the check
common.
route or the debit card,
Yeah,
but
we
if
have
it's
the-
going to a facility, it would be a check.
We have the ability, and in order to do that, we would request a letter from the institution or rehab requesting what they want. Typically, what happens is their court paperwork, it gets handed off by the sheriff's department when they're transferred to a different facility,
Okay.
or the rehab driver when they're going to a
Okay,
rehabilitation
so
center.
release to the street,
Yes,
debit card?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
that's a good way to put it.
So, I'll just, a simple scenario, somebody has $100 in their account, they're being released. You load the card, you'll have a means of loading the card from NUME, hand the card to them. It seems as though NUME makes their money, if they make money after 30 days. If the card isn't spent, then any transaction after that will have a fee. So NUME's hoping they keep a balance on it, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so, but once they leave and have the card, any issues is between them and the
Right.
vendor?
Correct.
Okay.
What is the average amount that you would be writing checks for that would end up on the card?
It's generally not a lot of money, usually I would say $50 or less.
Oh, okay.
But I do get the occasional one that's a couple hundred, I've even had over $1,000 already.
And do you happen to know what happens to a card that just goes stale, or is there a period of time, and if it, say it's a year, and the money is unspent, does NUME get
State
the money, or
Treasury.
does it bounce back?
It does, yeah, it doesn't do anything with us after they leave the
Okay.
facility. I believe they just keep doing the monthly fees until it's down to nothing.
Oh, so there's okay.
Yeah, it
a
keeps
month-
going every month as
Oh,
a fee if
okay.
they don't
Okay.
use the money.
So they don't have to turn it over to state treasury?
Because
Really?
it's their money after they leave.
That's only at the end of the line.
Yeah,
It's not after, you know.
An agency's no longer holding the money.
yeah.
So it wouldn't have to be.
What's the word?
What's that?
What's the word?
It's
Cheated, thank you, I couldn't
Yeah.
think of it.
Because it's no longer their money, they don't have to worry about it. Or it's not in their funds.
Anything else regarding the motion?
Thank you.
All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign, so moved.
thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.